And you are looking live inside the Jack Guinan Arena on the campus of South Seneca High School, Ovid, New York, where tonight we'll see the Finger Lakes West leading Bloomfield Bombers, number 8 in our power rankings, taking on the South Seneca Falcons. Should be a great look at the Bombers, currently tied with Naples atop the FL West standings, and South Seneca trying to pull the upset. They came close, almost beating Marcus Whitman last week. So we're about 8 minutes away from game time. Good evening, everybody. Jim Sinicropi alongside Kevin Korzeniewski. And Korzy, what do the Falcons need to do to pull an upset? They came close against Whitman. They're looking for that marquee win.
Yeah, number one, they got to make shots. Earlier in the year, we were here when they hosted Naples, also league leading in the Finger Lakes West. It seems like the only time we come to South Seneca is when one of the league leaders is here.
Right.
So number one thing in order for them and Coach Lent's team is to just make baskets. Yep. They struggled to score all year. They've got a lot of seasoned players back on the team throughout the last few years. Lincoln Backman Lowe, Colin Malella. They have players that can do it. There will be no Devin Rogers tonight for the South Seneca Falcons. But they do have a new player that has moved into the district in the past few weeks, and that'll be number 33, John Mercado, who South Seneca fans really haven't had a chance to see him play too much.
Right.
But number one, make shots. Number two, guard Bloomfield. Bloomfield's very talented. They've got some height, and they're going to have to do a great job of keeping the other team from scoring. And it sounds simple, but talking to Coach Lent, and that's really all you can say about South Seneca is making baskets and playing good defense.
Well, the nice thing about Mercado coming over, he's a point guard, transferred from Long Island just a few weeks ago, was on the bench for the HAC game, a game South Seneca won, but Lincoln Beckman Lowe's been playing the point, and now Mercado allows him to slide over to his more natural position, so that could help with some of the offense, which is similar to the situation that Bloomfield had. Heading into the year, they were struggling early in the year scoring points, and after they lost to Lions back on January 4th at home, they've made a switch. They moved Jack Ferguson to the point, which allowed their best scorer, Hayden Ward, to come off the ball, and since then they've averaging 5 more assists a game as a team, and they've been scoring over 60 points just about every game, and they've won 4 of their last 5. The only loss, a 1-point loss to Naples in a game that they really had won. So, we could talk about the strength of the FL West, but we can't deny how balanced it is at the top. You have the Dundee and Marcus Whitman 1 game back of Naples and Bloomfield that are tied at the top, and really any one of those 4 teams could end up with a title.
Yeah, you look at it, and something that's glaring to me is Bloomfield hosts Lions, who's struggling in Wayne County this year, and they lose. So we like to compare leagues and do our top 10 power rankings, but when I look league to league, maybe it's the worst of the 3 that we covered, or the weakest, I don't want to say worst, but there's 4 teams that are very competitive at the top, and even on other nights, South Seneca's team, nothing to shake a stick at.
Sure.
With Morella and Backman Lowe, these guys, they've got a lot of kids that have played good minutes, and Bloomfield can't take them for granted, and I don't think they will. The Finger Lakes West is very competitive. And
Bloomfield will start 5 seniors tonight. So this is a team that won sectionals Class C1 2 years ago against Early College. Then Early College won C1 last year, defeating East Rochester, and interestingly enough, they play February 1st in a not a league game. So a little rivalry there between Coach John Maston's Bombers and Early College. So I'm excited to see the Bombers. I'm excited to see Hayden Ward for the first time, Wyatt Conklin, Dalton Phillips, we mentioned Jack Ferguson, Christian Evely. So those are the 5 starters, the 5 seniors, and we also should see a sophomore Patrick Geithner coming off the bench, junior Alex Fulmer. So, we've been in Bloomfield's gym before. We called sectional semifinals there last year.
It seems like yesterday we were there. And
we saw Naples.
Yeah, we watched Naples lose to RCMCS in a great game, and Lions play a great Wheatland Chili team and come away with a victory.
We were talking before the game too about how gauging the West, and we agreed that the one thing the West is really missing is one or two more dominant teams like Naples last year, running the table 19-0 in the regular season. But looking at these teams, you got Naples is going to be a D1.
I think that's really big for Naples. There's some D1 schools that have a little bit better record than Naples, but how we talk about there's not that dominant team in the Finger Lakes West, but when you got to go out in your Bloomfield and your Naples and your Marcus Wimben and your Dundee, and you got to go out and play every night, that definitely will play to your favor come sectional time. The kids are mentally prepared. They're tough. They've played good competition all year. So I'm interested to see if Naples can pull it off, how far Bloomfield can make a run, Dundee, Marcus Whitman. All those teams can certainly make a run. It wouldn't surprise me if they did, but only time will tell in less than a month.
Yeah, maybe we can get a look at the C1 standings, and you'll see that Bloomfield, I want to say they're about 6th. They're in 7th right now, right behind World of Inquiry. East Rochester, Wayne County, 2nd place, first place in the standings right now. Clyde Savannah, 5th. We mentioned Early College at 4th, so you got a couple Wayne County teams, and then you got Red Creek just one behind Bloomfield. So that's why it kind of.
Yeah, that's always an interesting bracket for us to follow because there's so many Wayne Finger Lakes teams in there.
All right.
That was tough.
A little heat check.
Right through the body that one went.
We're about ready for basketball here. We'll get the national anthem performed by a couple of students. It'll actually be Maddie Hauk, a 9th grader. She's on your right there, along with Abby Elger, an 8th grader, in the black with the pink. And they will be performing the national anthem shortly, and then we'll be about ready for basketball. And, Corsi, I do love coming to the Jack Guinan arena. I think we got to get here for a Romulus South Seneca game next year because I think the atmosphere might be a little more festive.
I'm very interested to see, and even how next week we do a Minders Waterloo boys-girls game.
Yeah.
I would love to see a South Seneca boys-girls game.
Doubleheader.
Yep. I'd love to cover that and see the type of atmosphere that the two communities, very hardcore with the merger talk the last couple of years going at it.
Great job by Maddie Hauk and Abby Alger, 8th and 9th graders.
Very impressive. Always one of my favorite parts is watching the live national anthems going from school to school and see what type of musical talents we get to see. So great job, girls.
With all the players out in the court tonight feeling some pressure, nobody probably is going to feel more pressure than those two girls felt.
That's right.
Did a great job. So we get a look at the Bloomfield Bombers starting lineup. It'll be Dalton Phillips coming out right now, number 5, Jack Ferguson, Wyatt Conklin, and Hayden Ward, and Christian Evely. Conklin and Ward, both 6'2", two tallest players. No big man for these teams. Usually it's Wyatt Conklin tasked with guarding the bigger team players on on their West opponents like Sprague at Dundee and Cole Loomis at Honeoye. For South Seneca, you got a look there at Lincoln Beckman Lowe, number 12. He'll be doing a lot of scoring tonight. Anthony Reff, freshman, starting tonight. And sophomore, number 32, Charles Van Ness, starting for the Falcons. And there's the senior big man, Colin Morella. Really has a knack for getting the ball in the basket when he gets it close.
Yeah, between Warden, Morella, and Beckman Lowe, these guys have seen a lot of varsity games over the last 3 years. And Warden just a junior. So about
50% capacity here in the Jack Guinan Arena.
I think you're being generous, Jim.
Yeah, maybe a little generous. Obviously, Bloomfield, a little ways to travel here, and maybe a lot of them decided to stay home and watch us tonight on Finger Lakes FL1 Sports. So if you are watching from Bloomfield, glad to have you along.
Yeah, welcome aboard. Their first game on Finger Lakes FL1, and that's what I really like, since you've asked me to be a part of your team here at Finger Lakes FL1, is getting out and seeing some of the schools that I wouldn't normally watch. And when I coached at Waterloo, Bloomfield was never really on our radar because they were a C school and we were a B school. So, yeah. It's really nice to see some of what the other programs have to offer around Section 5.
Referees for tonight's ball game, Ron Cooper and Mike Schonecker. That's a pretty seasoned crew. And it's going to be Hayden Ward winning the tip, and Ferguson takes over, and we're underway from Ovid.
Yeah, South Seneca out in the man-to-man. And like you said, both teams very equal in height and probably athleticism, too. Bloomfield coming in probably just a little bit more skilled offensively. But you're going to see, nobody with a big mismatch on defense, no matchup problems as far as height goes.
And so there is Anthony Reff, a freshman, running the point, guarded by Ferguson. Gets it to the corner to Warden, drives baseline, finds Bachman Low. We
saw Reff in the Naples game, and I was pretty impressed with him as a freshman. He handles the ball well, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and I enjoyed watching him play. So, and that's what it frees up right there. You brought about and puts Lincoln, who's more of a scorer than a point guard, but he's been their best ball handler, so he's been stuck on it. But now he can go out to the off guard and do what he does best, and that's fill up the box score.
This time a baseline drive for the basket with the bonus free throw. Foul on Christian Evely. And Bloomfield get back to work down 3-0 early.
And both these teams will run good motion sets against the man-to-man.
Well, Charlie Van Ness, the sophomore, starting for South Seneca, bringing some size that we haven't seen so far with South Seneca. He's listed here. Actually, they don't have his height, but he's got to be about 6'4", wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he at 6'3", 6'4", no doubt about it. Big kid, tall.
And there goes Beckman Lowe straight to the rim again, and that's a 5-0 lead for the Falcons.
There's a block shot there by the big guy.
Loose ball picked up by Ferguson. He lets one go. No good. Rebounded by Dalton Phillips.
Yeah, that's something South Seneca's got to do. When you come in as an underdog, you have to limit your opponent to one opportunity, not 2 and 3 each time down the court.
This time Hayden Ward tries to drive and gets fouled. We get a look here at Lincoln Lowe's second bucket of the game. Right by him. And then mounted underneath the basket is Hayden Ward. Gets it to Evely. Drives with the right hand, and he's fouled.
I like Evely's got to take that dribble drive that he's getting and go right past the sophomore call up. You can tell he's not really quick laterally. And as long as they stay in the man-to-man, I see that as a mismatch on defense.
Both fouls early here for South Seneca on Marshall Warden, so he picks up 2 quick ones. And it looks like they have Christopher Mosier checking in for Warden.
Yeah, a couple different names than last time we called him.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Lincoln Beckman Lowe taking off the point, and it's already, paid dividends.
Yep.
So Evely makes 1 of 2. It's a 5-1 game, about 6 minutes left to go first quarter here from Ovid.
And Bloomfield goes to a 2-3 zone. And you hear Bloomfield coach Josh Masson saying, make him shoot it, make him shoot it. And that's where they've struggled, South Seneca, this year. He's making that three-point shot.
Van Ness loses the handle, and now Ferguson thought about a three, gets it back to Ward, who takes a three from the corner, no good. And another offensive rebound by Bloomfield. So it's Wyatt Conklin who came down with it. Ferguson with the interior pass to Evely.
Evely, yep. Van Ness is struggling guarding Evely down in the post and on the wing. So.
If you're watching tonight on Twitter, love to hear from you. Tweet us at FingerLakes1, hashtag at FL1 Sports. We'll be monitoring all night as Evely makes his first free throw. And I just had a Dave Barnick sighting. I thought it might have been Grizzly Adams over there with a beard.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Dave, of course, legendary here in South Seneca, member of our broadcasting team. He had knee surgery earlier this month, and so he'll be sitting in with us at halftime. There's a look at old dandy Dave Barnick.
Yeah.
He does look a little grizzly.
He must have lost the razor during that knee surgery.
So 5-3, all 3 points coming off of Evely's free throws, and there's Colin Morella with a putback.
Big putback by Morella, just tacking the basket. And that's what he's a workhorse. That's what he brings to the table every night. Works hard, crashes glass, and a lot of easy putbacks.
So 7-3 early. This is the start Coach Dan Lynn was hoping for. And loose ball on the floor. Wow, nice find. Wyatt Conklin misses underneath, and now South Seneca controls. It's Ruff with the ball. So it's Anthony Ruff, Christopher Mosier, Ryan Shields into the game for the Falcons, Morella and Backman Lowe. And there's Shields with the ball top of the key. Mosier tries to drive baseline, stepped on the line.
Had nowhere to go. Kind of forced that one, the junior Mosier did, along the baseline, and credit Bloomfield with some good defense.
For the Bombers, it's Dalton Phillips, Jack Ferguson, Hayden Ward, Evely, and Conklin, the starters. There goes Conklin working on Mosier. Ferguson with a baseline jumper, finds the bottom of the net.
Nice looking shot by Jack Ferguson there on the baseline. And if you're South Seneca and Coach Dan Lenton, you got to love the pace of this game right now. You know, they're taking about 15-20 off each possession.
Backman Low, three-pointer, no good. Corralled by Hayden Ward. Up ahead to Evely. Great pass, great finish. Ball never touched the court. Tie game, 7-7. Ref tries to split Bloomfield defenders.
Ref gets the call.
From the ref.
From the ref. Yeah, hand checking all day. Good call.
So that's Ferguson's first foul. Backman Low inbounding underneath the basket. Gets it out top to Mosier. He finds Ryan Shields for the jumper. No good. Pulled down by Evely. Bloomfield pushing it up court. It's Conklin. Dribbles around the top, and they reset to Ferguson. So some good defense early by South Seneca. Nothing's easy here for the Bombers. Evely drives baseline. Nothing there. 8 to shoot, 7 to shoot. So I'm not sure Ferguson knows. Got 3 seconds left to get it up. He does, up and under. Short, gets his own rebound. Fresh shot clock.
Yeah, bailed out by the offensive glass. Barely hit the rim enough for a reset, but South Seneca's got to do a better job of cleaning up that glass. Good hustle, though, by Ferguson.
Dalton Phillips drives with the right hand, finds Ferguson for 3. Bang!
Nice looking shot by Jack Ferguson. Nothing but net. You could tell he's hit a few of those in his career.
He had 5 against South Seneca the last time they played. He scored 15 points, all on 3-pointers. So Backman Low goes by him and throws one high arcing and into the middle of the basket.
Well, keep in mind, 7 of their 9 points for Backman Low, and that's what the senior leader needs to do tonight is put some points up for this group. They're doing a good job defensively.
Well, they got Wyatt Conklin taking the 3-ball, no good. Gets his own rebound. And there's Ferguson again, no good. Evely battles for it, and Conklin gets the rebound again. Hayden Ward still scoreless. He's been lighting it up. 26 points against Dundee back on January 12th was his season high. And just as I say that, his shot goes in and out. And South Seneca gets it back. Backman Low looking to press. Off the backboard, no good. Gets his own rebound, and they'll reset. So 10-9, 142 left to go here. First period of play. South Seneca trying to play spoiler. And ref gets it to the corner for Mosier. And out to the junior Ryan Shields, who gets it back to Lincoln Backman Low. Trying to work off a pick from Morella. And he'll drive. He gets a shot off from Mosier. It's short, but he follows his own shot and can't get the putback to go, but he'll head to the line.
Yeah, a lot of second chance shots for everybody here early on. Not doing a good job of boxing out, but some of the shots are a little awkward. It's hard to get a good read on or feel where the ball's going.
So that's the second foul on Christian Evely. As Mosier goes to the line. First shot is good. Give me a chance to tell you about some of our sponsors. Federal loans not enough to cover the cost of your college education. The private student loan available through Generations Bank can be the answer to your funding needs. Learn more online at mygenbank.com. And you're thinking about life after high school? Get your degree at Finger Lakes Community College. Nearly half of FLCC grads transfer to a four-year school and continue their education. Visit www.flcc.edu to learn more. So we got a 10-10 ball game.
We got Brendan O'Grady, nice German boy, just checked in the game. And Bryce Beechler checking in for Bloomfield. So we'll see a little bit of the bench.
Inadvertent horn there, and the refs are going to stop the clock, which is going to take that bucket away from Conklin.
Now the clock's still running.
Now the clock's running, so we might have a delay here.
They got Dave Barnick doing the clock from over here.
So, yeah, Dave, I actually talked to Dave yesterday, encouraged him to come out and talk with us at halftime. He's doing better. Knee surgery, pretty painful for the first few weeks.
And like our several hundred viewers now, giving up the Cuse game to come out and be with us tonight.
Yeah. I know that they were up 18-5 early. Syracuse, that is. As Dan Lent having a conversation with Mike Schoenecker.
I think he was asking about the double lane violation and what the call was, why it wasn't a jump ball. And
nice inbound play to Wyatt Conklin for his first bucket, and Bloomfield leads by 2. 56 seconds left to go. First quarter of play here at the Guinan. Glad you could join us here on FL1 Sports. This is game number 23 of 28 on our regular season schedule. Backman Low, high off the glass, gets it to go, and with 35 seconds left in the quarter,
give me some more Backman Low.
I love him. I haven't pulled out his nickname just yet. But
just save it.
We'll
Still the first quarter. But he has kept these guys in at 12-12 right now.
And Conklin again goes straight to the basket. This time comes up empty.
Hold it for one. 19 seconds on the game clock.
If you're South Seneca, hold it for one. You're going to be tied or leading after the first quarter. Great start for Dan Lentz boys. So down to 6 to shoot. And the shot up off the glass, no good. Whoa, full court shot off the rim. And so after the first period of play here in Ovid, your score, Bloomfield 12, South Seneca 12. You're watching Finger Lakes West basketball on FingerLakes1.com.
Guidance and partnership through every step of the journey. Welcome to Generations Bank.
Good luck to all of our student athletes this high school sports season. Big enough to have degree programs that will take me where I want to go. And small enough that I don't have to travel alone.
Big enough that I can take classes from anywhere. And small enough to get the support I need to succeed.
Big enough that there's always something going on. And small enough that I'm never just a face in the crowd. Finger Lakes Community College.
20. Dave, who's number 20? And second quarter underway here at the Guinan. Tie game, 12-12 early. And we've got Brett Robinson into the game for the Falcons, too. So Dan Lent using everybody tonight.
Well, it's one thing we've always talked about covering these guys the last 2 years. They've had 7 or 8 guys on the bench. You know, the bench is bigger, and he's dipping into it. And why not when you're tied after one? Get some guys a break.
Well, we talked to Backman Low. Off the air ball. Nice rebound by Ryan Shields. Now Backman Low takes it to the basket. And
I don't know if it was a shot clock violation, but good thing the referees are paying to that. The air ball never touched iron, so that's what that call is. Got to go to our other resident guru, Roger Clemenson, to find out who number 20 is. He's not on our roster and just checked into the game, along with Brett Robinson.
I believe we're still looking for Mercado's first appearance in the ball game.
Well, I think if you're South Seneca and Dan Lent, you got to be really pleased with that
Scott
first
Hawley.
quarter.
Yeah,
and,
okay. That number 20, of course, is Scott Hawley.
Scott Hawley, okay. And Bloomfield, 12-12. Probably not nervous, but a little concerned that they gave up 12 points to South Seneca in the first quarter and only managed 12 themselves. So probably two different vibes from these two programs.
Oh, nice backdoor cut and basket by Patrick Geithner.
It's a local Seneca Falls name.
Yeah, we'll have to find out if there's any connection there as we get a South Seneca timeout here. Here's that backdoor cut. Good job by Hayden Ward finding him. And that is the difference with a 14-12 Bloomfield lead. Finger Lakes Partners, insurance for your life, home, auto, and future. Trust someone who lives in your community with offices in Geneva, Waterloo, and Victor. Visit Finger Lakes Partners online at fingerlakesinsurance.com. And there is a fan of junior Ryan Shields of the Falcons. Made a sign.
Like the signs. Good for the fans to get out here and
This
make
has to
some
be
signs.
like the third or fourth game in a row, Corsi, with no cheerleaders. It does make a difference in the atmosphere.
It does. I agree.
And South Seneca usually has cheerleaders. You also have a mascot.
Yeah, the greatest mascot, one of the best mascots, if not the best mascot in all of Wayne Finger Lakes.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there.
And every once in a while, we'll get a Blue Devil sighting in Seneca Falls. I like that one, but that's too far and few between.
Here comes Lincoln Backman Low, gets his own rebound. Off the glass, no good, still loose. Pulled down by Bryce Beechler.
That's my only question right now for South Seneca is can Lincoln Backman Low keep up his scoring production? You know, he's got 10 points, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 points in the first quarter. Can he score 36, 40 points by himself? Some of these other guys got to step up.
Oh, and there's our first look at John Mercado.
Mercado got fouled on the way up. It wasn't Rob Schonecker made the call, but out here that should have been, it was right in front of us.
So instead it'll go back
Jump
to the
ball,
Bombers.
go the other way.
6:07 left to go here, second quarter. And we got Patrick Geithner now running the point. He's a sophomore, 5'5" sophomore. Recent call up. And he gets it inside to Conklin, who lays it up over Mercado, but
He called the block.
Foul.
He's my young official, I think. He did the block, and then he did this. And I didn't know if this, the arm out meant and one or a charge, but he's got the charge. And that's where in high school basketball they don't have the, little arc that you might see in college and NBA. And if you had that, you'd certainly have not called that a charge.
So, John Mercado, you're going to school just 4 or 5 weeks ago in Long Island. Now you're on the court playing your first home game for the Falcons, and nice job drawing the charge there.
Yeah.
Backman Low behind the back, working against Ward. Tapped it away, but Backman Low gets it back. Now South Seneca got his numbers, and Backman Low leaves it off for Mosier, who misses the layup. And it's heading back to Bloomfield.
Yeah, push on Beckman Low, but
windy.
those are the ones that South Seneca needs. Those point-blank
Layups.
2-footer layups. They got to make those shots.
So now it's 14-12, about 5:30 left to go first half. And there goes Hayden Ward driving the lane, gets it out to Ferguson. Or that was actually Phillips with the air ball. And now they get it back to Beckman Low, who they got him bringing the ball down, even though that Mercado's moved over. Now that ref's out of the game, it looks like Beckman Low's going to be running the point.
Yeah, one thing I'm impressed with Bloomfield, and once they start making down shots, they might be able to extend this lead, is they run really good sets. They're setting good picks, hard picks. That's a product of well-coached team. And they're getting good looks. They're just not knocking anything down right now. But you can tell they're just a matter of a couple shots of putting this thing up more than 2 points.
And South Seneca's had their chances. And here goes Morella trying to drive baseline. He bounces it over to Mosier, gives it to Lowe. Here's Mercado for three. A little too strong. Rebounded by Jack Ferguson. And Ferguson gets it up ahead, and they skip it back to Hayden Ward, still looking for his first points of the game.
It got a hand check there on Christopher Mosher, playing a little too much, his defense, a little bit too much hands on him.
So there's Mosher's first foul of the game. Give me a chance to tell you about Red's Place, where they're serving great lunches daily in downtown Seneca Falls. Awesome daily specials, soup, and the best sandwiches and burgers in town. Visit men'shalloffame.com for the full menu. Okay, South Seneca gets it back. We need to see some more scoring here, Corsi.
Yeah, 12-12 at the quarter. It's 14-12, 4:52 left in the second. Yeah.
So Morella hands it off to Mercado. Tries to work against Ferguson. And he's still working against Ferguson. Gets by him, bounce pass to Mosier off the glass, misses the layup. And it's pulled in by Hayden Ward, and looks like they got Mosier for the foul after miss. So it's two consecutive missed layups for Mosier.
And that, it was a great pass by Mercado. Dribbles in, great fine bounce pass, goes up, and a little contact, but got to finish those.
So Coach John Masson for Bloomfield, also the athletic director. And we mentioned earlier what a great home gym they have. These got to be the two best gyms in the Finger Lakes West. Here's a look at that pass from Mercado. Nice bounce pass, and just got to put that home.
Yeah, Mosher wants to stay out on the floor. He's got to start knocking those down.
And that's Beechler with the ball, driving the lane, and Morello comes up with it now. It's up ahead to Mercado, and he puts it over the front of the rim and scores his first points in the Guinan Arena. And that pulls the Falcons back to even with Bloomfield, 14-14, as Hayden Ward misses.
You can see, we were here a couple weeks ago watching the Naples game. You can see a little bit of a pep in South Seneca's step right now.
Yeah.
We didn't see, they're in the game. They feel good about it, and see if they can go on a little bit of a run here to finish out the half.
Mercado to Lowe, gets it to the corner here. Three ball on the way, off the rim, no good. Shot by Anthony Ruff, and Mercado gets it back, and he drives again, and they got a block.
Oh,
Nope, they got it's another time we had some disagreements between the officials.
I thought maybe a charge.
Yeah, I think that's what they got.
But no, they called it travel.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a travel going the other way. One thing I've noticed about Lincoln Beckman Lowe is every time he drives, he's got 2-3 guys on him.
Yeah.
The game plan, obviously, and would be if anybody was coaching, when he puts the ball on the ground, help. It makes somebody else hurt you. And South Seneca's got to have somebody else hurt Bloomfield here.
Now they got an illegal screen.
Yeah.
So it was tied 12-12 at the end of the first quarter. Now 3 minutes, 30 seconds left in the half. It's 14-14. So 2-2 this quarter. And,
Morella checks out. And South Seneca going a little bit smaller with Brett Robinson in.
so they have a ref running the point again. The freshman gives it to Mercado. And now Mosier has it. Back to ref, and there's Beckman Lowe, and he finds an open Mosier, takes a long two-point shot, misses it, but rebounded by ref. He drives against Conklin, and it's blocked. But they get Conklin with the foul.
There's been a lot of inconsistencies in the officiating so far. That was a pretty clean block. I thought 2 or 3 trips prior that there has been some contact that they kind of let go. Maybe that's why he called it, because
here's a second foul on Conklin, and you can see there it looked like a pretty clean block.
But I thought Wyatt Conklin handled himself pretty well there.
So Anthony Ruff makes the front end, and that gives South Seneca the lead late in the second quarter.
You know, it's great for South Seneca, but Bloomfield's struggling. When you're an underdog like this, you're glad Bloomfield's struggling, but you got to put some more points on the board to extend this lead.
Yeah, big rebound by Beckman Lowe, but he handed it off to Robinson, who traveled. So back to Bloomfield, and yeah, the longer South Seneca hangs around, the tougher it's going to get on Bloomfield. I mean, they battled all season long to get to this point with just 2 weeks left, tied for first with Naples, and could ill afford an upset tonight. But right now the Falcons lead. And for Bloomfield, it's Geithner with the ball, passing it off to Beechler. Drives with the left hand, and they got a foul on the ground. And if they got Mosier, that's his third.
They did.
They did. That was Christopher Mosier's third foul. And he's going to check out as we get Scott Hawley coming back in the ball game. Hey, Finger Lakes Construction is the #1 post frame builder in New York State, providing complete building packages for a wide range of construction, including personal garages, commercial office complexes, municipal, agricultural, pole barns, and more. Visit them online at fingerlakesconstruction.com. So front end of the 1-and-1 by Beechler ties it back up.
Well, everybody in the crowd's still awake. That's a good sign.
He makes them both. It is. Sometimes we've done games in this gym, of course, where we had to keep it down, you know, because everybody in the whole gym could hear us. But the Falcons a little inspired tonight. Beckman Lowe hasn't scored in a while. This time he gets the ball, does a little spin, left-handed off the glass and rolls out. Pulled down by Ferguson. He's double-teamed, and, geez, got the foul.
Got the foul.
As we take a look at the Finger Lakes West standings, there you have Bloomfield and Naples up at the top, just 1 game behind are the Scots of Dundee and the Marcus Whitman Wildcats, a little resurgent Marcus Whitman team. And then you got Red Jacket Honeoye, the Falcons at 7th. And how about Romulus, 3-13? Normally you wouldn't get too excited about that, but
it's good.
Three wins.
I'm not sure if it's good coaching by Joe Peisnack, but
I think it's
great scheduling by Joe Peisnack. No, I'm sure Coach Joe Peisnack's doing a great job down at Romulus. But picking up Marion twice this year was big for the program.
Sure.
To get them,
and then they got a league
wins.
Win against HAC.
And they beat HAC, who's yet to get a win in the Finger Lakes.
They're hosting Dundee tonight. We'll get you a look at the other games around the league tonight. Nice jump shot by Robinson from the elbow. And South Seneca's back on top, 17-16. We got a timeout, Bloomfield. So we can take a look here at some of the other games around the league tonight. I'm sorry about some of the distortion on the camera there that you're seeing off our main camera. We'll see if we can get that straightened out at halftime. We have HAC at Dundee, as I mentioned. Whitman at Honeoye, game that Whitman certainly could lose. Naples hosting Red Jacket. I think it was Red Jacket that upset Naples earlier this year. So Naples looking, that's really the difference in the West is that upset loss. And then tomorrow night we have a huge game. Palmac at Minders. In the East standings, everything has been home teams won against the top teams. And so Minders will have to continue that if they want to remain a tie with Newark, who will be hosting Waterloo tomorrow. So
I'm real interested in that Minders Palmac game tomorrow night. I hope Minders crowd comes out and supports. Not on Finger Lakes 1, so there should be no reason. And that's a big game in the Finger Lakes East tomorrow night.
And Hayden Ward misses the turnaround from the block, still scoreless. 1:21 left. There's a baseline drive by Hawley. Gets it for Robinson, who misses a shot, and then Warden with the ball blows right by him. Right by everybody, gets it to the corner to Geithner, who turns it over. South Seneca's got numbers. Beckman Lowe just forgot the ball. Now coming back the other way is Geithner, and he's blocked by Nick Ruff. And Beckman Lowe almost loses it again. He did lose it. They're both on the ground. Loose ball. Who's got it? Timeout. Nope, they called a kick on Lowe.
Yeah.
uncharacteristic there. A couple times in transition, Beckman Lowe just losing the handle.
Yeah, the first time down he just lost it.
Yeah, it was
completely
weird.
Lost it. Geithner ended up with it. That time he got his pocket picked a little bit. But yeah, usually takes care of the ball pretty well.
Long inbound pass is saved by Warnope. He was on the line, so another turnover for Bloomfield. 50 seconds left to go here. First half action. Falcons lead by 1.
Well, my old high school coach, Smith, said he was going to tune in tonight. So I wonder if he's still around at 17-16 here in the second quarter. Or, if he's got the Syracuse route of Notre Dame on.
No, I bet he switched over here to Finger Lakes 1. He gave me a call a month or so ago, told me how much he enjoys watching these games, and especially listening to all the former players, that calling the games. We really have a heavy contingent of minors grads, especially from that 92 team on our team.
Sure,
here.
yeah. You got Verk, and Jerry's always around with the girls team, and myself. We're always giving shout-out to Chris Herron because Lincoln Backman Lowell, we do a lot of his games. And,
Chris is at home. His whole family's here.
Yeah,
Maybe we can get them on camera in a bit.
And Dave Barnick loves to talk about the General Bill Grant, whom I saw today. Him and Verk are on the way up to the Cuse game tonight.
Oh, that's right. And Ward off the back iron just cannot get it going.
Well, South Seneca's got to hold it for 1 here. 25 seconds on the clock. Shot clock is off. 1 point lead no matter what going into halftime. See if they can extend it to 3, maybe even 4. But my guess will be 3 because they're not a very good three-point shooting team.
Well, they got 10 to shoot here. Tried to hand it off to Lowe. He lets it go out of bounds. It'll stay here with 6.4 remaining in the first half. What do you look to do here, Corsi? 6.4. Beckman Lowe inbound it. He finds Mercado. Bounce pass. Oh, he turned it over.
Not what I would look to do. I would have went right back to the inbounder.
1 second. Dalton Phillips lets fly over everything. So, halfway through this Finger Lakes West contest, it's the South Seneca Falcons up 1, heading into the half.
Tonight's live broadcast of Section 5 High School Basketball is brought to you by Generations Bank. Federal loans not enough to cover your college education? Learn about the private student loans available through Generations Bank at mygenbank.com. By Finger Lakes Community College. Thinking about life after high school? Get your degree at Finger Lakes Community College. Dr. Rod Littlejohn Orthodontics. Celebrating over 30 years of smiles with style and proud to support our area high school athletes. UR Medicine and Thompson Health. Medicine of the highest order. Dobbins Pharmacy, serving their customers in downtown Lyons for over 50 years and 3 generations. By Finger Lakes Partners Insurance, with offices in Geneva, Victor, and Waterloo. Trust someone who lives in your community. Ferrara Lumber and Building Supplies. Plan your next kitchen or bathroom remodeling project at ferraralumber.com. By the Newark Pilots and Geneva Red Wings of the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. Penny's Place Family Restaurant. Large portions and home-cooked meals in the Liberty Plaza between Seneca Falls and Waterloo. By Jimmer's Auto and Stevers Garage. Late model cars, trucks, and minivans on Fall Street in Seneca Falls. By Finger Lakes Construction, building structures for a wide range of applications with state-of-the-art design and flawless execution since 1969. Red's Place, great lunches served daily in downtown Seneca Falls, and $1 tacos every Monday night. And FingerLakes1.com digital marketing. Building, maintaining, and hosting great websites for local businesses since 1999.
Big enough to have degree programs that will take me where I want to go. And small enough that I don't have to travel alone.
Big enough that I can take classes from anywhere. And small enough to get the support I need to succeed.
Big enough that there's always something going on, and small enough that I'm never just a face in the crowd. Finger Lakes Community College.
Wisdom passed on from generation to generation. Welcome to Generations Bank.
Yeah.
And welcome back inside the Jack Guinan Arena for the FLCC halftime show. And happy to have a good friend of ours and a member of our broadcast team, Dave Barnick, alongside, or should I say Grizzly Adams?
You can say Grizzly if you want. As I say, I nearly got hijacked by some of the Amish groups going by here today, but that's just a little thing it won't be lasting long.
Yeah, you've been laid up for a little while, so that's fine, Dave. You've earned it. So a little knee surgery a few months ago. How you feeling?
3 weeks
today.
3 weeks.
3 weeks, sorry.
Today. It's been a bear, but I'm coming along now, I'm happy to say. Thanks.
Another Grizzly Adams reference with a bear, but
that's right. He just passed away, I was told, so.
Reincarnated, south end of the county.
So, Dave, you're...
Pete Koch is who someone told me I look like.
Yeah, I guess Koch. I kind of can see that. I could see that. So, your South Seneca Falcons got a 1-point lead here. What do you think?
I was surprised. I know they've struggled. The boys program has been down for a while. They play hard. They really don't have any shooters. Lincoln Lowe, not a bad shooter, their best all-around player. But the West is pretty weak. And Bloomfield on top, I'd love to see the Falcons pull an upset.
Playing that role of spoiler.
It might help propel them to a couple more wins this year if they were to get a big win like that.
Dave, the one thing you just said is South Seneca doesn't have a shooter, and nobody in this corner of the gym or the other corner of the gym is going to argue that. And with the day and the age that basketball is, I think it's almost too dependent on the three-point shot at every level. And you look out there, and how do you not have a shooter on a high school basketball team or any basketball team in 2016?
Well, a couple of things. I think, as you mentioned, people dominate either on banging the rim, dunking if they can, or the three-point shot. But the second thing, when you were playing on your great championship team run, what were you guys doing the rest of the year? You were having pickup games. One way or the other you were playing, whether it was shooting by yourself, 3-on-3, 5-on-5, probably in your case, Cougar Lake State Park and places like that. And fewer and fewer kids and communities are doing that like they used to.
It's everything's organized. There's the AAU, or and there's other sports that are organized, and Korzy knows he has 3 kids, and one of them older than mine, one of the same age, and I have a daughter in fourth grade, and everything is just, it's this practice at this time, this camp at that time, this game at that time, and never once, rarely do they just get together and play basketball.
And I find that as a fault of not having a feel for the game and the ability to play the game. There's no play, and whether it's soccer or football or basketball, everything's regimented and robotic, and I hate the outcome of it. Yeah. But the shooting wise, even if you don't play, you go shoot. Somebody here in South Seneca, please go shoot.
We used to sneak into the gym. If we did it today, the alarms would go off.
Yeah, and that's another thing but every gym has that. Even Seneca Falls can shoot. They've got great shooters, but it's hard for them to get in the gym. They got to be in there with an adult, and you can't get in.
Yeah.
Back when I was a kid, we'd say, "Hey, coach, leave the gym open." He'd leave the gym open. You'd open it up, and he'd leave, and we were allowed to shoot.
But that being said, the girls program is doing very well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Extremely disappointed. I'm not sure how they lost to Minders, because I nearly had Verke convinced to send his daughters to South Seneca next week.
Well, they split on the year.
If they could have got the sweep.
Yeah, they split on the year. Heather Matt's girls are playing great this year.
And that's true in a lot of schools. You get a lot more, for some reason right now, there seems to be an uptick in participation from the girls, and less so in many cases, not all, but in many cases with the boys programs.
Sure.
I think it's school-to-school, program-to-program, but you tend to see that at some of the local high schools, that the girls programs do very well and the boys programs struggle, but at some of the programs, the boys,
especially here in the south end of the county, you got the South Seneca girls and the Romulus girls. Romulus girls, just a couple of years removed from a state title, have gotten the better of South Seneca the past several years until this year. Now finally South Seneca over the top. And what do you think about Heather Mott's bunch chance of a sectional run themselves.
If I think they have it could be rags or riches, Jekyll and Hyde with that group. They've got some fine players. They're fun to watch. Mackenzie Kenyon, the Laverne Way girl, but they're not a big team other than the Laverne Way girl, and they can stub their toes too if they're taken out of their game, which ball movement, getting good shots.
And the Bloomfield Lady Bombers also have very good this year. I believe they're in our Super 6 power rankings as well for the girls. So 2 Finger Lakes West teams in there this past week. So we've got about a minute left, and you played on some of the greatest South Seneca teams of all time. For the guy
that's
who
incorrect.
No?
On the greatest.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about playing for the great Jack Guinan and some of those teams.
And isn't this a beautiful facility?
It is the best.
It was a great facility, and they finally got the lighting corrected, and I'm so happy that they have that. They only really lack a nice track, which I think is a health and safety issue. But we had a run of 5 sectional championship teams in an era in which there were fewer classifications. You had to win 4 games, not 3 to win the sectionals.
Mm-hmm.
And I maintain really my senior year, I think, was the best team we ever had. The 2 teams that followed could argue maybe they were. But that senior year.
How many straight sectional titles? 5 straight, so you won't see that anymore.
But that senior year, I would argue the next 2 best teams in the Lakes Region League, which is what it was called, was our second team, who we started in 2 games, and our JV squad, who had many members who would be scoring in double figures today in varsity, but because of numbers, they had to wait their turn as freshmen and sophomores.
Yeah, certainly a legend.
Some really, really good players and good size and great camaraderie. The schools had just merged, and every game was pretty much a sellout.
And you say the schools just merged, Ovid and Interlaken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So going back a few years.
But if you look at the pictures, the one thing that I noticed, and I'm reading about Jack Guinan and the teams out here in the lobby have done a great job of letting people know how successful he was. But there was size. I mean, here we are out in the middle of the lakes, and man, you guys are 6'4",
not to interrupt you, but I know we're short on time, but Joe Brewer, who's a teacher here, and he was a classmate of mine, he and a couple others did a lot of work to get those out of the archives, out of the cellars, and put things together.
That's great.
Great in the
concourse. The best thing about those pictures is that we had our sweatpants on, and they did not have the short shorts showing.
That's true.
Lucky for you, because that stood the test of time, those photos. So, well, Dave, we're about ready for second half action. Really good to see you back on your feet again, and it won't be long, just another week or so. A week from tomorrow, you'll be calling the game in Miners Waterloo, and actually there's been a change in plans. I don't want to disappoint you, but it'll be Corsi and myself sitting in the booth instead of Verk.
That might be the day that Jody and Matt are meeting with the officials here at South Seneca about their kids transferring.
Could be.
I look forward to that. And go South Seneca, get a big W tonight. And nice to see my friends again, and it's great to get out.
Absolutely, Dave. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for joining us, Dave. We'll see you next Friday night.
So second half action underway. 17-16 your score. As Lincoln Beckman Lowe brings it up. And always great to talk to Dave. I mean, the time goes by so fast when you're talking to him. You literally could spend a couple hours talking to him about South Seneca basketball, or really
just
about anything sports.
He's like Cliff Clavin. He's just a wealth of useless knowledge at times, but he knows he's got everything down. Local sports. He's a big fan of high school sports. He's a gigantic fan of the South Seneca Falcons, and good guy like that's great to have around.
So we are already over a minute into the second half here, and still no score. South Seneca maintaining their 1-point lead. And here's a 3-ball from Dalton Phillips. Makes it 19-17. That's Phillips' first points of the game.
And you could tell the bench of Bloomfield got up and really liked that. So coaches must have really tried to get that pep talk going and say, hey, we can't come into South Seneca and be down 1, trying to win the Finger Lakes West. So let's see how Seneca.
Oh, I don't.
Let's see how South Seneca can handle this first 4 or 5 minutes going against a little bit better team and see if they can weather that to make this a game going in the fourth quarter. Because Bloomfield's going to come out now and just give it their best shot, their hardest punch, and South Seneca's going to have to weather that.
So Backman Low picks up his second foul. Hayden Ward going to the line. Finally gets on the board. That's his first point of the game. Is an average in the upper teens, including a season-high 28 in a loss to School of the Arts, 25 against Honeoye, 26 against HAC. And he makes them both. And now all of a sudden the lead up to 4. First half scoring, Lincoln Backman Low led the all scorers with 9 points. All 9 of those coming in the first quarter, though. He's been held scoreless for quite some time now. As you see him with the ball, giving it up to Ryan Shields and back to Backman Low. And they just throw it away. Here comes Ferguson. High off the glass and good. Great touch by Jack Ferguson. And just like that, the Bombers are up 6. Timeout, Dan Lent. Give me a chance to, let's get a quick look at this replay here. Well, that steal by Ferguson.
Yeah, Morello wanted nothing to do with this with his foul trouble. He didn't play it at all in the first half.
Still a nice, tough shot there by Ferguson. So Thompson Health Urgent Care Center in Farmington provides acute illness and injury care in a welcoming environment with doctors, nurse practitioners, and physician assistants whose goal it is to get you treated promptly and courteously so you can get back to enjoying your life. Learn more at thompsonhealth.com. And Dobbins Drugs, where they believe their customers are like one big family. Whether you need assistance getting over a winter's common cold or a get well card, Dobbins is there to help you. Located in downtown Lyons for over 50 years and 3 generations. 5:49 left here, third quarter. In Ovid, 6-point Bloomfield lead. South Seneca still looking for the first points of the second half. And it'll be Backman Low with a bounce pass from Morella, and it's blocked by Hayden Ward. And then Morella gets the foul.
Yeah, it was a great timeout by Coach Len, I thought, and a good execution there. But
they got Low with that foul. That's his third.
That's his third, yeah. They, just a good block shot here. That's a great pass. Good block by Ward.
And now Hayden Ward, a little give and go with Evely, who misses the shot. And I'd say it's a pretty big possession here for South Seneca.
Coach Zach Young just tweeted in. He'd like to see Barnick maybe handle his own show on Finger Lakes one day.
I've been trying to convince Dave to do that for a while. The Barnick Files is what I'd call it.
That would be a good one. He doesn't like to travel north too much. You'd have to bring the studio to him.
He can talk about whatever he wants, and it would be interesting. So, for the Falcons, it is Backman Low, Anthony Reff, Marshall Warden, Colin Morella, and Ryan Shields.
Bloomfield with a 2-3 zone this half. I don't want to say it slowed South Seneca down because they've been kind of slow since the end of the first quarter, but
they haven't gotten any good looks though this half.
No, they haven't inside, and obviously Coach Masson is going to see if South Seneca can hurt him from the arc. And then they go man on the out of bounds.
Yep. And really nothing there for South Seneca. And they are shadowing Low wherever he goes, but he double clutches, misses. He's bumped inside and he's fouled, and he wants the shot.
He does, doesn't
but
he?
I think they're going to call it on the ground.
He's a workhorse. There's the Backman Low family right there. The Heron family.
The Heron family. That's Lincoln's aunt, Darcy, and Lincoln's cousins, Griffin, Brody, and Maya.
We like to call Brody Chicken Butt on air. That's all right. And Lincoln's grandmother was in the picture as well. But
so there you go. Lincoln Low scores his first bucket since the first quarter.
And that's a good idea. If you're going to get a shot of that family, you want to keep Gary Backman out of it. He doesn't do too much for me on the camera.
So 2 big free throws by Backman Low gets South Seneca back into things here. Ferguson brings it up for the Bombers, trying to avoid the upset, stay tied atop the Finger Lakes West with Naples, who's hosting Red Jacket tonight. And there's a 3 from Ferguson, just off the front rim, no good. Pulled down by Warden, slapped away, but finally controlled by Shields, gets it to Low. And now here comes Link. Playing catch with Anthony Reff. Yeah, South Seneca got to get this ball moving a little quicker. There's Morella with the ball at the foul line. Jumper no good. Pulled down by Ferguson. And Ferguson pushes up ahead to Dalton Phillips, who slips his way through 3 Falcon defenders, misses a shot, gets his own rebound, misses again. Now Warden has it, and wisely slows it up and gets it into the hands of Backman Lowe. And South Seneca will get to work, down 4. Warden just gave it away, and now there's a pileup, no call. And Phillips is coming the other way with it.
Carried.
That's what I thought maybe, but no call. And Conklin gets it out top to Ferguson, and they'll reset. 22 to shoot.
South Seneca still hanging around, though. 3 to go in the third.
Great little play there, finding Wyatt Conklin for his second bucket of the game. And it's a 6-point lead now for the Bombers. And, you know, Corsi, South Seneca's got to find somebody to score besides Backman Lowe because they're just all over him wherever he goes, whether it's Morella at the point or, you know, one of these young guards. There's a nice bounce pass from Lowe to Morella. Layup is good with a left hand. Calling Chicken Marcella. Or Morella, I'm sorry. The name's Morella.
No, but a big shot by Morella, and you called it. Some of these guys got to step up. Who else? Who's going to come out here and try and support?
Big time baseline drive by Hayden Ward, goes down hard, but not before scoring the basket and getting the lead back up to 6. Backman Lowe drives the lane. He loses it on the way up, but foul called. Looks like they may have got Evely. If it was, it's his third.
Well, what Backman Lowe lacks in jump shooting, he sure does make up in hard work and hustle.
Man, he hit the ground hard there.
His elbow went right down on his right elbow. Seems to be okay, though.
Still waiting for them to post the foul. I guess actually it might have been on Dalton Phillips. Yeah. No, there it is. It's on Wyatt Conklin.
That's
his third.
It's a big foul.
And Conklin will stay in. Phillips is actually checking out.
Yep.
He's a Beechler, 5'10" junior guard, checks in. And Backman Lowe misses the first. Makes the second, though. 5-point ball game.
Yeah, need a couple stops here by South Seneca. Bloomfield wants to try and continue this their scoring pace here in the third quarter.
Hayden Ward being a little more assertive right there. He drives baseline, finds Evely for the pass, and he can't make it. Pulled down by Mercado, who is off to the races. I'll tell you, I think as we move closer to sectionals, we might see more from Mercado.
Yeah, the one thing I've noticed about him is he's athletic, he's quick, got a good build to him. Not sure about his basketball ability just yet, early on in his playing time, but certainly athletic enough to be out there.
And just a sophomore. He's Backman Lowe. Gets it over to ref.
Now, the one thing the zone does do is it limits Bloomfield's touches as well.
And Morella with a nice spin and left-handed hook. 3-point ball game. As Cullen Morella comes alive.
Cullen Chicken Morella.
That's right. So 1:39 left to go, and wow, they got stops.
No, legal screen. I don't know. We'll talk more about Cullen Morella, who's scored the last 4 points here for South Seneca. They're finding gaps in the zone, and on the receiving end is Morella, and they need to continue to do that.
Morella scored one with the left hand off the glass and the next one with the right. So a little ambidextrous there, and he is crafty when he can have a little bit of space in there at the block. So Mercado skips it over to Backman Lowe, drives baseline, rises off the glass, and gets it to go! 1-point game, the great emancipator pulling South Seneca to within 1.
Nothing better than calling a South Seneca game with Jim Sinicropi and the great emancipator call.
In a travel.
A little bit of a run here.
On Hayden Ward, who's frankly having one of his worst games offensively of the year.
Yeah, he's struggling.
Nobody's been able to hold him in single digits. He's got 4 points here as we're coming to the end of the third quarter. And now South Seneca down as many as 6 now has a chance to take the lead. Almost turned it over, but ref got it back and gets it back to Mercado. Picked up his dribble. 14 to shoot. Mercado tries with the left hand. Gets it back to ref, and now there's only 8 to shoot. Skip past the Backman low. Work on the baseline with 3 to shoot. No good. Rebound up and pulled down by Morella. Spins, and he's traveled.
Spun a little bit too much on that pivot foot. But good work again by Morella. 37 seconds left here in the quarter. Let's see if Bloomfield holds it for one. There's only a second or two shot clock differential.
4 fouls on Conklin up on that scoreboard there. See that?
Yeah, I just, I did when you pointed up there.
don't remember when that was called, but apparently Wyatt Conklin has 4 fouls. And
it was called on the moving screen.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
It was called for the moving screen.
So Conklin out of the game now.
For a while.
The left-hander, Coach Maston said he was relying too much on the 3 early in the year. Now he's getting to the hole more, attacking the basket. And really, the Bombers thought they solved their offensive problems the past several games, winning 5 of their last 6, but just 28 points now with 22 seconds left in the third period.
Well, I think you mentioned it earlier with Hayden Ward only with 4 points and struggling. You know, that hurts you a lot.
So Beechler makes the first, and he has a chance to extend the lead to 3 here. Doesn't do it. Rebound up and controlled.
Well, the one thing we've always talked about, Jim, is when we come to South Seneca, they don't always score. Like right now they have 26 points, sorry. And, you know, they're going to come to play defense with Coach Lent's team. They play hard. They play together. They're well coached. They just sometimes lack a little offense, and their defense is holding them in tonight. It's not their offense.
2 to shoot. Backman low for 3. Off the rim, no good. And rebound by Mercado after the buzzer. So we got a ball game here from Ovid, folks. Stick around for the fourth quarter. Bloomfield 28, South Seneca 26 on FingerLakes1.com.
Big enough to have degree programs that will take me where I want to go. And small enough that I don't have to travel alone.
Big enough that I can take classes from anywhere. And small enough to get the support I need to succeed.
Big enough that there's always something going on. And small enough that I'm never just a face in the crowd. Finger Lakes Community College.
Good luck to all of our student athletes this high school sports season.
We hold on to the things that really matter. Welcome to Generations Bank.
And fourth quarter action just underway, and Bloomfield controls.
South Seneca stayed in the man-to-man most of the game. And that's what we, at the top of the show, we talked about the athleticism of South Seneca. They're certainly athletic enough.
And there's Hayden Ward with a strong take. He's got 6 now and the lead back up to 4.
To stay and hang out, hang with Bloomfield. But they're going to have to hold them to under 40 because I can't imagine South Seneca breaking the 40-point barrier here.
Not at this point. Oh, and there's a spinning shot around the rim and good by Marshall Warden. His first basket of the game, and it's back to 2. The Finger Lakes West title may be hanging in the balance for the Bombers in these last 7 minutes here at the Jack Guinan. Should also mention, Korzy, we have now done 5 or 6 South Seneca games over our last 3 years. We've been doing games for 4 years, but over the last 3 years we've done South Seneca maybe 5 or 6 games. Still looking for their first win on Finger Lakes 1, so could it come tonight possibly? Hayden Ward kicks it at the corner to Dalton Phillips. Nice touch on the baseline drive.
Well, if it's ever going to come, tonight's the night because I think this is the closest they've ever been since I've been watching them in the fourth quarter.
So Backman low again. Even when he gets by somebody, there's help defense there, and he's really struggling trying to make something happen off the dribble here. He pulls up, and Morella with the rebound, but he pushed off.
Yeah, using his arms too much. He's got to get his hips more involved in that motion. Good call on the baseline there. But go ahead.
I was just going to say the concessions here at the Jack Guinan are my favorite part.
The best.
We got some footage from out in the concourse that maybe we'll show you in a second here. And there's Hayden Ward trying a deep ball, no good, pulled down by Backman Lowe. And again, another big possession here for the Falcons, trying to get it back to one possession, down 4. Backman Lowe working off the pick from Morella, pulls up for a jumper, no good off the left rim, pulled down by Ferguson, and Bloomfield looks to push. Up ahead to Beechler, gets it to the corner to Ward, back out to the top to Phillips, tries a 3, in and out. That one would have hurt. Instead, the Falcons get another crack at this 4-point lead here.
Yep, Bloomfield's been man-to-man this quarter, and South Seneca struggling against that too.
And Backman Lowe misses his 3rd consecutive shot. 3 straight possessions, 3 straight misses for Backman Lowe, and now Hayden Ward drives right into Ward, and they're going to call the charge.
Yeah, I like the call. It's good, smart, heady play by the warden on the baseline, and he drew the charge. Good call, good play.
And that's the second foul on Hayden Ward.
And Bloomfield just can't pull away from South Seneca. Real sloppy game offensively, both teams really. And South Seneca hanging around here with 5 to go in the game.
Morell almost turned it over. Backman Lowe gets it back. May have been fouled. Now all of a sudden they got 5 on 3 coming the other way. And ref passed up the 3. Gets it over to Warden, and who dribbles into nothing, but finds Morella up and off the glass.
I don't think that
they
was
called
a
it travel, but it was not,
that
Corsi.
was not a travel. It just
that was not a travel. Lincoln Backman Lowe doesn't like the call.
Yeah.
And actually, he's getting a mouthful right now.
Yeah, he will. You know, he's the Schoenecker that's got about as quickest, tough, easiest temper.
Schoenecker and Lowe are going at it right now.
But look how Schoenecker gets right in his face and
he's tracking him
antagonizing.
down.
He's almost he's antagonizing the player, you know, getting in his face.
Yeah.
But I agree. He took 2 steps.
Yep.
I thought it was an easy call. Looked ugly, but not a travel.
Big call because that was that would have cut it to 2.
Yeah, it was a great find by the warden. Yeah.
Turnover by Bloomfield though. So this will be South Seneca's 6th attempt at getting this 4-point lead down to 2. Backman Lowe lets one fire. Buttons. Just a 2. Foot on the line. 32-30.
Carrying the Falcons on his back. Down 2, 4.5 to go here in the fourth quarter. Making a game of this against the #1 team in the Finger Lakes West, the Bloomfield Bombers.
Conklin drives with the left hand and gets it to go and the foul. He's back into the game with 4 fouls.
I think that's smart by Coach Masson to put him in at this point with
Sure.
only a 2-point lead. You know, it was a great take. They need some offense and see if he can finish the 3-point play here.
Looks like they got Morella with a foul.
Yep,
that's his 2nd. And so now a chance to get the lead up to 5 for Conklin, the lefty. Let's go. Off the rim, no good. Pulled down by the warden. Hands it off to the great emancipator. And here comes South Seneca. Just over 4 minutes left to go in the ball game. Glad you could join us here on Finger Lakes 1 Sports. We've had a lot of close games this year, Corsi, probably more than any other season that we've had recently. A lot of tight ones. And there is a baseline jumper from the freshman. Anthony Ruff knocks it home, and it's a 1-point ball game.
That was Mercado on the 3.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Didn't have much arc on the shot. Line drive right through the net.
Nice knuckleball.
Pull the Falcons within 1.
Not much rotation on that either.
No.
Inside to Conklin, left-handed shot off the rim, no good. Ball is loose, and Warden corrals it. And all of a sudden, with 3:30 left to go in the ball game from Ovid, the Falcons with a chance to take the lead with a bucket here.
Well, let's see. He's getting the orders from Coach Lent on the sideline. Bloomfield goes back into the zone, which I like.
Warden takes a baseline jumper, good! And Lincoln Backman Lowe puts his arms in the air. The Falcons lead late.
They're going with a 2 on that one from Marshall Warden. We got a timeout by Bloomfield. A little trash talking by both teams.
Backman Lowe and Ferguson jawing each other. Hey, this will give me a chance to show you the great concession stand here, Corsi, at the Jack Guinan. You'll notice the big screen with a live feed of the game. Plenty of seating. This was during the early on in the JV game when we got a look.
My favorite's the big screen out there. You get to go out. You know, sometimes you wouldn't want to leave the game because there's something going on. That's my favorite.
And look at the selection of candy. There's Coach Bloomfield coach John Maston getting a pregame meal. I think he got a white hot, maybe a red hot. And there are some delicious nachos. So
great close-up on the nachos, Jim. That's good camera work.
Next time you think about coming down to Ovid for a ball game, don't stop for dinner on the way. Great concessions right here.
I like that you caught Coach John Maston with a white hot before the game. Something I could never do before a game was eat, especially at the concession stand.
We go deep. I mean, he might be sorry he ate that hot dog right about now. He's got to have a little indigestion here.
3 to go.
Down 1 point.
Down 1 against the South Seneca Falcons. Looking to pull a major upset in the Finger Lakes West.
Hayden Ward gets it to the corner to Dalton Phillips, drives the lane. Bounce pass to Ward, and his foot was on the line.
Hayden Ward's out.
Now, this is where Backman Lowe and the rest of the Falcons got to keep their head. They're really excited right now. They need to protect the basketball and score a couple more baskets.
Especially Lincoln. They're leaning on him. He's their senior, their best player, and he's got to keep his head. But he's still got to get a little emotional enough to let these guys know this is a big game, boys. Let's go out there, pick it up a little bit, and finish this one strong.
Warden jump shot off the back iron, no good. Rebound loose. And it was
a great hustle by Mercado, but he stepped out of bounds.
Yep, so it'll be Bloomfield basketball, 2:32 left to go in the ball game.
This is such an exciting game that my wife is watching. She just texted me for the first time. It might be the first time she's ever joined in on our production.
Hi, Jolene. glad you're at home watching. She watching on the big screen, Corsi?
I don't know if she knows how to use the big screen, but she could be.
Inside Conklin finds Avely for a nice baseline jumper to give the lead back to the Bombers with 2 minutes, 10 seconds left to go here at the Guinan.
Big shot by Avely there, down 1. Baseline jumper with 2 to go. Give him the lead.
And see, Backman Lowe just keeps trying to go off the dribble, and they're playing great. This time Ward on him, playing great defense, but he gets his way into the lane, rolls out of the rim and no good, and
he almost willed that one in. Let's see if Bloomfield could no numbers.
Pulled down
good hustle by
Evely.
Warden. Oh, now the crowd's into it. A little restless up there. They got something to cheer about with the 1:48 to go.
So for the Bombers, it's Ferguson, Ward, Evely, Conklin, and Phillips. Starters all in.
Timeout,
and Maston wants a timeout.
Make sure he gets good possession here. Let's see what they do off the timeout. I know Bloomfield's a strong shooting team, but Coach Lemp might want to just try to disrupt their timeout here by going into a 1-2-2 zone or 2-3 if they have it. If they're still in the man-to-man, let's see where Bloomfield attacks from. My guess is Hayden Ward will have the ball in his hands or find the ball in his hands somewhere and draw a ball screen to get to the basket.
Christian Evely's got 7 points. That's one of his high games of the year so far. As we look ahead at the upcoming schedules for Bloomfield, early college coming up next. And then the tough game at Whitman, and then the Naples game at home could be for the West title. Certainly don't want to give one away here, having to go at Whitman and play Naples again. For South Seneca, they'll play their rival Romulus here at the Jack Guinan on February 5th. And they'll also travel to Naples and try to play spoiler again here in the West. But right now, trailing by 1, Corsi, and they're going to come back with Warden, Backman Lowe, Morella, the freshman ref, and the newcomer Mercado.
Yeah. Wonder if they could just take a boat over to Union Springs, how long that would take the team to get there.
It would cut probably 30 minutes off the drive.
Easy.
It hasn't been cold enough to walk across yet, but.
Ooh.
So the interior pass to Hayden Ward. He was bumped by, it looked like Morella. That'll be Morella's third. It should be his third foul.
Yeah, it's his third. They'll take it out because it was on the ground. But to answer the burning question about Jolene, Will just texted from the phone. He's the one that's actually watching. And he doesn't have a phone to text me on, so he has to use my wife's. So big shout out to Willie watching. Get to bed.
Absolutely.
Early riser, in the morning. Let's go.
Yeah, it's still 8:51 here. This game's moving along pretty good. There's a great shot of some of the artwork here on the walls of the Guinan, the 2015-16 South Seneca girls. They look like they mean business.
They do mean business. That's a great poster to hang up in the gym. Good for you, South Seneca Lady Falcons. I like that poster.
So, low-scoring game, 1-point game. Falcons could use a stop here. I think the Falcons got to find something on offense besides Lincoln Lowe dribbling.
Yeah, just trying to off the attack.
A little more ball movement. They had some success getting it down low to Morella.
Yep, they went back into the man-to-man, and Morella, he was doing most of his damage versus the zone. But more importantly, what's Bloomfield going to drop on this inbounds play here? If they can take this to 3, that puts a lot of pressure going down on South Seneca.
Yeah, and still plenty of time.
Yeah.
No need to.
Next basket might win this one with 90 seconds to go, the way the scoring rate's been going.
Yeah, I mean, a huge possession for Bloomfield. I mean, obviously Bloomfield a lot more on the line here on the road than South Seneca, but South Seneca and this group of kids and Coach Lent really in need of a nice win like this here. So, nice inbound pass to Conklin though.
And that's the one thing I can't. It drives me nuts as a coach, and I watch this stuff. The baseline inbound play against a man-to-man, so easy to draw up plays and try to get a good look. And Bloomfield threw a great play up and got an easy basket. There was no switch on the screen there, and it's unfortunate to see, but they got a 3-point lead.
Here's a look at our upcoming live webcast. Coming up on Saturday, one of the greatest rivalries in all the Wayne Finger Lakes. Lions and Clyde butt heads again. In Clyde, the start time is incorrect there. It says 2:30. It was moved to 4:30, so we'll be live at 4:30. I'll be calling that game with Matt Verke. Then Tuesday night, live from the SPO Center in Waterloo, it's Palmac at Waterloo. Palmac in contention for that Finger Lakes East title. We'll see how they do against Minders on Friday, and then they have to travel to Waterloo, site of one of the best games last year. Damian Wright hitting a not a half-court shot, but probably about a 30-footer at the buzzer to send it into overtime, a game that Waterloo ultimately won.
Yeah, I remember watching that game. That was a big game for Waterloo.
Then we'll be back together with Dave Barnick as he makes his return to the booth next Friday night for a boys-girls doubleheader. Girls-boys, actually. Girls go at 6, boys at 8. Minders Waterloo from the Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium in Seneca Falls. And, of course, league title implications for the Minders boys in that second half of that doubleheader. And the Minders girls trying to continue their streak as of right now. I think they've won 5 in a row since losing their center, Heidi Miller, to injury. So
you got a busy week ahead of you. You and the Hunt brothers. They got a lot of games coming up, including tonight. You got tonight, Saturday, Tuesday, Friday.
What else you going to do this time of year, Corsi? Backman low off the backboard, no good. Pulled down by.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, he threw it away though, but Morella didn't see it. And now Ferguson tries to press the issue and will wisely pull it out. Bounce pass to the corner. 3-pointer up for Phillips is good. Actually, it's just a 2. But the lead up to 5, 46 seconds left. And Phillips has scored the last 4 for Bloomfield. And what do we got? Another timeout for Coach Dan Lent.
Full timeout by South Seneca Falcons.
Give me a chance to tell you about Penny's Place Family Restaurant, located on 5 and 20 in the Liberty Plaza between Seneca Falls and Waterloo. Well known for their large portions and home-cooked meals, a large selection of breakfast items, and everything from burgers, salad bar, and wraps for lunch. If you want a great meal while pinching a penny, come to Penny's Place. And by the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League, where action hits the Finger Lakes this summer with the Newark Pilots and Geneva Red Wings in action nightly, showcasing some of the best collegiate baseball players in the whole country. Go to NewarkPilots.com or GenevaReds.com for season ticket packages. So, Corsi, just like that, 42 seconds left now. Falcons down 5. What do you got to do if you're Coach Lent?
Well, you just got to attack the basket as quickly as you can. You can't take too much time off the clock. And you might say, if you're Bloomfield, you want to play zone to give up a 3, but you might want to just protect the paint, take 10, 15 seconds off, and force South Seneca to shoot the 3. That's what I would like to see. But you certainly don't need a 3 if you're South Seneca. It's a 2-point, you don't shoot it well, A. And B, there's 42 seconds left. It's plenty of time to get a basket, maybe even a stop off the press. But that's what they're talking about. When we score, here's what we're going to do. We're going to, run our trap press, our man-to-man press, whatever they have, and, try to get a steal first before we start fouling. And
here we go. They inbound it to Mercado, who finds Beckman low. He was open for a 3 for a second, and they got a foul.
Yeah, that's the worst thing you can do if you're Bloomfield. And the hand check that he hasn't been called for that all game, but now they're going to call a little tighter here at the end. Ferguson's not happy with the call. But, now Lincoln Beckman Lowe's going, no clock running.
Chance to make it one possession.
He's a good foul shooter, and he can cut this lead to 3.
Should give a shout out to the Dog H. Weber, originally scheduled to call this game. Had a little cold, actually a pretty serious cold this week. Here he's feeling a little better, and so best wishes to the dog.
Yeah,
Big shot there.
Tough to get on air with the cold.
Big shot there by Beckman Lowe on the front end.
Yeah, and him and Ferguson a little stalking still.
17 points for the great emancipator, who another big shot coming here. Make it a one-possession game. Shot is up and good. Big shots by the senior.
Ice in his veins.
So now
35 seconds,
yeah.
basically a shot clock up there. So you can't play defense the whole time and expect anything good to come of it. You're down 3 still and not a great three-point shooting team, so you'd like quick possessions. But I would certainly press and gamble here for about 15 seconds, maybe take it to about 20, and then you got to look to foul and put Bloomfield on the line. Senior-oriented team, though.
Yeah,
you know, so
usually
I'm
makes a
assuming
difference.
Pretty good foul shooting team for Bloomfield.
Well, just 6 seconds ago, it was a 5-point lead, so that whole last series of events worked out pretty good for the Falcons. Expect to see Dan Lent try to go for a steal here in the press before fouling?
Absolutely. I wouldn't come out and foul. You know, I would come out and gamble. Their next foul is 1-on-1, so they don't have to worry about fouling to get to 1-on-1. Sometimes you look up and you're 3-4 fouls away, and you got to foul. You know, you got to get there and play aggressive. But no, I think they can burn 15 seconds off the clock here.
Well, we do got a good one here at the Guinan Gymnasium. Glad you could be with us here on Finger Lakes One Sports. Jim Sinicropi alongside Kevin Korzeniewski as Beckman Lowe encouraging the crowd to get into this one here. Spencer Malone, Jeremy Hunt on cameras. Jason Hunt manning the production tonight. And they get it into Ward, who is trapped, throws it across court, stolen by Warden.
Now
30 seconds left. They get it back to Lincoln Beckman Lowe, down
Still
3.
attack the basket, look for 2. 25 seconds left, and don't start flinging threes up. I think South Seneca's out of timeouts.
Inside to Warden, tapped away, and they'll stay here. So 19.8 left to go.
Still go for 2.
Yeah,
you know, if you got an open 3, certainly take it, but don't start. Oh, Bloomfield timeout, helping out South Seneca a little bit. And if I was Coach Lent, I would sit the kids down and say, boys, if you got an open 3, and you're normally a 3-point shooter for us, don't force it. If we can get inside 2 points, just as good right now, we'll put them on the line and see what happens.
Well, last time down, we saw Bloomfield run a nice play against man-to-man defense underneath the basket. Yeah. South Seneca's got the same thing. They should be able to come up with an open shot on the inbound pass. So,
yeah, you certainly could come up with a 3 if the team's in zone. But, you know, that's what Coach is talking about right now. We're switching everything. We're helping out on Beckman Lowe. He's really hurt us. Don't force anything. And, you know, if we get the ball, don't turn it over. They have to come foul us at this point. And the biggest mistake Hayden Ward made on that last play was he dribbled right to the sideline.
Yeah.
Got a great trap, had nowhere to go. He looked down court, and Warden
was playing center.
Oh, it was Warden, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Warden playing center field. He broke from sideline to sideline to get that. So great steal. And South Seneca shows some poise on the transition to offense. And we'll see what they drop here.
And they're letting Beckman Lowe take the ball out.
Yeah, I've noticed that from them since we've covered. You know, I've always wondered if you could maybe put him in and maybe get him easy looks off the inbounders.
Got to be careful of him leaking out to the wing after getting that ball in.
Yep.
Nothing happened, and they called timeout. They did have one left.
Yeah.
That's got to be their final timeout.
I hope they have one left. Yeah. But that's, 19 seconds left in the game. You've got one timeout. That's not when you want to use your last timeout.
If you're coming off a timeout.
You just came out of a timeout.
Yeah. Well, Jimmers Auto offers a full inventory of late model cars, trucks, and minivans. Check out their full inventory online at jimmersauto.com. And for service, visit Stevers Garage on Fall Street in Seneca Falls. Jimmers Auto and Stevers Garage, strong supporters of local high school athletes for over 40 years. And I'll remind you to stay tuned after this game for the Dr. Rod Littlejohn Smiles with Style postgame. Dr. Littlejohn and his outstanding orthodontic team share a common goal to ensure the overall wellness of each of their patients through orthodontic care. They utilize the latest technological advances, including Invisalign and Excellident. Check out their website at littlejohnortho.com. So, geez, can you feel the excitement in the air at the Guinan? It's it's a close game.
It is
still
game.
Quiet in here.
It is quiet, but the timeouts are kind of taking that into effect. There's been a bunch of timeouts here in the last minute, as most basketball games go.
So for South Seneca, it will be off to Union Springs on Saturday, or actually they'll host Union Springs, and for Bloomfield, they'll go to Early College on Monday night, and here we go.
I love what Coach Maston did. He came out, he switched to a zone.
Warden baseline jumper is good. 1 point game, 16 seconds left. The clock continues to run, and quickly Beckman Lowe gets the foul on Hayden Ward.
Yeah, that's a good foul. Great shot by the Warden. Marshall Warden with the baseline jump shot. But what Maston
didn't hesitate.
Coach did is he came out in the 2-3 zone, then they called timeout, then he came out in the man-to-man. And it was good defense. It was a tough shot by Warden. He just made a cut to the baseline.
I think they would have preferred to give that shot up over the
Lincoln Beckman Lowell trying to get the crowd going.
Look at this
one. And he's got it, too.
First shot up is good by Ward, so it's still a 2-point game, regardless if Ward makes or misses this. It's one possession.
That's why you attack, too, because now it's, even if he makes it, you're still one possession. Now you can take the 3 with 13 seconds left if it's there. But again, attack the basket. You can get a layup, still have 6 seconds left coming down the other way, 5 seconds after foul shots again.
And the Jack Guinan's come alive here. Second shot up by Ward, off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Beckman Lowe. 10 seconds. Gets it across to Mercado.
The new kid.
The shot off and off the rim, no good. But he's heading to the line.
He moves to school in the last month. He's on the biggest game of the year for South Seneca. They're down 2, and now he's on the line with 7.7 to go. I love the find by Lincoln Beckman Lowe to Markella. If he can make both, it's tied. Even if he misses and makes one here, okay, somebody fouled out, so they're going to have a 20-second timeout here. To get
it was actually Conklin fouling out.
Yeah. Look at this find by Lowe. Finds the open guy. Very unselfish play.
And then, oh, my, just in and out.
If that shot went in, this place would have went crazy. But so Mercado's got to go to the line here. He's got to make 1 or 2, because if they come back again, if he makes both, we got tie game. But if he makes 1 or 2, it's still a 1-possession game going back the other way, even if Bloomfield makes both their foul shots.
So 2 shots.
Can't miss them both.
Welcome to Ovid, Mr. Mercado. First shot's up. No good.
Yeah, 2 shots. Everybody went in like it was 1-on-1, and they confused me for a second. But now he's got to make this one. If he misses this one, an immediate foul, and Bloomfield can ice it on the foul line.
Second shot up. Rolls in and out. Rebounded by Hayden Ward, and he's fouled.
Yeah, good foul.
6.8 seconds left to go. Falcons down 2. Hayden Ward made 1 or 2 last time.
That's a tough position for Mercado, to be in. And, he's got the weight of trying to fit in, and I feel for the young man.
I've been impressed though with what he brings to this team, without a doubt.
Yeah, he brings a nice athletic guard. Compliments the boys well.
So Hayden Ward with 2 free throws will ice this one, 1 or 2, and the Falcons still have a chance. And
the crowd's getting back into it, making a little noise, shaking the camera.
First shot up, and it rolls out. Rebounded by Beckman Lowe. 6 seconds left. 5 seconds.
3
seconds. Lets it fire. He's fouled, but no call, and that's the ball game.
Yeah, a little bit out of control. Probably could have taken another dribble, but 20 just got in his face.
There's almost a fight. There is a fight.
Look at this is ridiculous.
Kay Lentz in the middle.
And that was all number 20.
Both coaches trying to break this up. Yeah, that was Christian Evely.
That's just what Evely did after the game was ridiculous. I don't care what happened during the game. After the game, what Evely did was totally uncalled for. He went right up into Lincoln Beckman Lowe's face, yelled and jawed right in his mug. And it's totally uncalled for.
South Seneca's exiting the field without shaking hands.
Both coaches should just tell the kids to leave. Nothing, just to protect both kids. But, total classless move by Evely on that. And, coach should take a look at this game afterwards and watch that. And some sort of discipline should come on Evely.
It looks like Bloomfield, we might be missing out on our post-game show here as Bloomfield is heading straight for the bus.
No, I think they got to go to the locker room to get their stuff. They're headed to the opposite locker room.
Well, we're going to step away. We'll get this thing sorted out. We'll be back in about 2 minutes here. Your final score, Bloomfield 41, South Seneca 39 on FingerLakes1.com.
Tonight's live broadcast of Section 5 High School Basketball is brought to you by Generations Bank. Federal loans not enough to cover your college education? Learn about the private student loans available through Generations Bank at mygenbank.com. By Finger Lakes Community College. Thinking about life after high school? Get your degree at Finger Lakes Community College. Dr. Rod Littlejohn Orthodontics, celebrating over 30 years of smiles with style and proud to support our area high school athletes. UR Medicine and Thompson Health, medicine of the highest order. Dobbins Pharmacy, serving their customers in downtown Lyons for over 50 years and 3 generations. By Finger Lakes Partners Insurance, with offices in Geneva, Victor, and Waterloo. Trust someone who lives in your community. Ferrara Lumber and Building Supplies. Plan your next kitchen or bathroom remodeling project at ferraralumber.com. By the Newark Pilots and Geneva Red Wings of the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. Penny's Place Family Restaurant. Large portions and home-cooked meals in the Liberty Plaza between Seneca Falls and Waterloo. By Jimmer's Auto and Stevers Garage. Late model cars, trucks, and minivans on Fall Street in Seneca Falls. By Finger Lakes Construction. Building structures for a wide range of applications with state-of-the-art design and flawless execution since 1969. Bread's Place. Great lunches served daily in downtown Seneca Falls and $1 tacos every Monday night. And FingerLakes1.com digital marketing. Building, maintaining, and hosting great websites for local businesses since 1999.
Yeah.
And welcome back inside the Jack Guinan Arena here in Ovid, where we had a dandy tonight. Final score, Bloomfield 41, South Seneca 39, here on the Dr. Rod Littlejohn Smiles with Style postgame. Joined with a couple of Bombers to my left, Hayden Ward, and 1 seat over, Jack Ferguson. Congratulations on the win, fellas. It got a little dicey.
Thank you. Yeah.
You guys are tied for first in the Finger Lakes West.
Yep.
With Naples. Dundee and Whitman just a game back. Couldn't afford to drop one here tonight. Did you expect South Seneca to put up such a good fight?
I mean, yeah, I knew they were going to be tough because they try as hard as they can every time they're out here. But
yeah, every time they're giving their best shot they can.
Got to ask you real quick, what happened there at the end? The emotions running high.
Our buddy went to go pick the kid up, actually, and he just freaked out and tried to jump at him from behind.
It's just trying to help each other out.
Well, that's a tough way for a great game to end. You guys, Coach Maston told me, Jack, that he moved you over to the point, freed up Hayden a little more off the ball. You guys have been scoring more, but not tonight. Just 41 points get the win. It's tough to score tonight here.
Yeah, I feel like there's a little – we played some lineups that we never played before, and that was different too.
Yeah, we didn't shoot the best that we have been in recent games.
So coming up next for you guys, and I believe it'll be Monday night, you're playing early college, home or away?
Home.
Playing early college at home. That's become a pretty neat rivalry in Class C1.
Yeah.
2 years ago, Bloomfield beats early college for the C1 sectional title. Last year, early college wins, and so you guys consider them kind of like a little bit of a rival, even though they're up in Rochester and Chartersville?
I think they're the ones we're shooting to beat.
Yeah.
Because we're going to face them in sectionals, so it's pretty good that we're going to play them and get a chance at them before then.
Yeah, and they're a good team. Should be a good game.
And of course, Naples, the team you're tied with now, you play them one more time. The last game back on January 6th, I think it was in your place. That was at Naples. That was a fantastic ball game. One you guys kind of let slip through your fingers. What are you going to do different next time you face the Big Green?
I don't think we need to do anything different.
Just
The kid who
Just
made the
gotta
basket
finish
at the
it.
end of the game.
Play how
Finish
we've
it
been
up,
playing.
yeah.
Play good.
Yeah, absolutely. What's it like playing for Coach Maston? Also the AD. What was he
something.
telling you guys at halftime tonight?
We just gotta come out strong with energy. We were a little like lackadaisical in the first quarter.
Half we really didn't come out with any enthusiasm. It's tough in the quiet gym and everything.
It was quiet.
Not
Got a
as
little
many fans down here.
Yeah,
Hour long bus ride.
that's true. You guys got to make the long trip here to Southern Seneca County. Got a little noisy at the end though, a little bit. Started things getting a little tight. So, you guys play any other sports besides basketball?
No.
Nope.
You guys both just basketball?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Certainly like what you guys got going down there in Bloomfield. Love your gymnasium. It's got some
Brand new.
bleachers
Brand
in
new,
the
it's nice.
along the baseline, so
Yeah.
it's a fun place to visit for sure. So, guys, got a favorite college basketball team?
Syracuse.
Well, they won tonight too.
Oh yeah.
Gets Notre Dame, so it's tough when we got to do a webcast and they're playing because we lose some viewers. But a lot of people from home, I think, were checking in tonight and watching you guys. And so congratulations on the win and good luck the rest of the way, fellas. So Hayden Ward, Jack Ferguson here on Finger Lakes 1. We're going to get Korzy back in here real quick and wrap this thing up. Good job. We'll see you in section, okay? Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go, Korzy. Pull yourself right back in here. So, without a doubt, a little more exciting than maybe we anticipated tonight. But we both said, we both had a feeling that maybe South Seneca could pull this one off, and they took them right to the end before falling just short. And what those kids were saying was that the kid for Bloomfield actually went to pick him up. I mean, I don't know. We can review the tape later, but
The tape.
Unmute us.
There you go. The tape will speak for itself. Watching a situation like that it sometimes isn't always what you see live. And, I thought I saw something differently. But, like I said, the tape will. And there was some going on by Lincoln
both teams.
early in the game. But, that stuff happens. You got to kind of, when the buzzer rings, respect the fact that you won, respect the fact that the other team beat you, be a good loser, be a good winner, and end it and shake hands and get on with life. You know? And I hate to see the extracurricular stuff happen after, games like that. But, let's forget about that and not let it take away from a big win by Bloomfield, who really would have had a major setback with that loss. And great effort by South Seneca, who had a shot at the buzzer to tie to send the game to overtime in Lincoln Backman Lowe's hands. So, you couldn't, if you're Dan Lett, you couldn't ask for a better situation.
Yeah, the kids played hard. Both teams got some scoring here. Lincoln Backman Lowe led all scorers with 18 points, 9 in the first half, 9 in the second half. Marshall Warden with 4, Anthony Reff with 4, John Mercado 4 points in his South Seneca debut, although I guess he did suit up for HAC. This is his first home game for sure, transferring from Long Island. Cullen Morella with 6, and Brett Robinson with 2. For Bloomfield, it was a pretty balanced attack with Wyatt Conklin leading the team with just 8 points. Jack Ferguson, Dalton Phillips, 7 points apiece. Hayden Ward, 7. Christian Evely, 7. 3 points for Bryce Beechler and 2 for Patrick Geithner. It all adds up to a 2-point victory for the Bombers, 41-39, and really a narrow escape from the Guinan for Bloomfield here.
Yeah, that would have been a shocker in the Finger Lakes West, and give South Seneca a lot of credit for coming out playing. I thought, a couple guys that we've watched over the years, Marshall Warden and Cullen Morella, did great in the fourth quarter. They finally stepped it up and helped that, they were down 6 or 7 and helped fuel South Seneca down the stretch. So, good for South Seneca. You got to take it and build. They got some winnable games coming up and going into sectionals and see if they can grow on this. I like the lineup that they had tonight. They were gritty. They fought hard. And for Bloomfield, kind of learn, Coach Maston on the way home and say, what can I learn from this game tonight? And, find out what kind of things they were missing because they certainly struggled.
Sure. So, pleasure as always. Enjoy calling the game with you, Korzy.
You too, Jim.
Finger Lakes 1 will be back on Saturday in Clyde, Savannah. as the Golden Eagles host Lions, and then again on the following Tuesday for Pelmac Waterloo. And then we'll be back together with Dave Barnick in the Arthur L. Baker Gymnasium in Seneca Falls next Friday for Minders Waterloo. So for my broadcast partner, Kevin Korzeniewski, our producer tonight, Jason Hunt, Spencer Malone, and Jeremy Hunt on cameras, we thank you all for joining us. Final score again from Ovid, Bloomfield 41, South Seneca 39. Have a great night, everybody.